So hello everyone, we are back again with part 3 of the polynomials. This is chapter 2 of our NCERT book. Before we proceed with part 3, let's recapitulate a few parts that we have done in part 1 and part 2 of the polynomials. First one is, what is a polynomial? Polynomial is a combination of terms which are associated to one another with plus or minus sign along with the help of multiplication and division. Then we did the types of polynomials. One division was on the basis of the number of the terms. For example, an expression consisting of a single term was known as a monomial, and an expression consisting of two terms like this, x plus 3, was considered to be a binomial. Similarly, an expression consisting of three terms, something like this, is known as trinomial. After that, the bifurcation of these polynomials was on the basis of the degree of the polynomial. A polynomial whose degree is 1 is said to be a linear polynomial, and a polynomial of degree 2 is said to be a quadratic polynomial, and a polynomial of degree 3 is known as a cubic polynomial. And once again, let's recapitulate what degree is. Degree of a polynomial is the highest value of the variable used in a given expression. So what next we did was, what is the zero of the polynomial? Zero of the polynomial is that value of the variable which makes the polynomial zero. Zero of polynomial, polynomial की वो वैल्यू, वेरिएबल की वो वैल्यू थी जो पॉलिनोमियल को ही जीरो बना देती थी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी हैव x plus 2 as a polynomial, and we know that if we put x is equal to minus 2, this polynomial px will become 0. If we put x is equal to minus 2, it means minus 2 is the zero of the polynomial. What next? We should be in the position to answer the next two questions. What are the maximum number of zeros a polynomial can have? What are the minimum number of zeros a polynomial can have? And for that, I have taken up one example again with you. Rather, three examples. In example 1, I have taken a polynomial, say x here. For zeros, put the polynomial x here is equal to 0. We get x is equal to 0. It means by putting x is equal to 0, we get px is equal to 0. The polynomial becomes 0. So number of zeros in this case is 1. And the degree of this polynomial, remember, is 2. Let's take up another example. This is again a quadratic, and I have named this polynomial px as x square plus 2. For calculating zeros, again put x square plus 2 is equal to 0. So x square is equal to minus 2. And as you know, this x is going to be the square root of a negative number, which is not a real number. So it means in this case, we are not going to have any real number as the value, which will put this polynomial equal to 0. Hence, the number of zeros in this case is going to be 0. So let's come up to the third example. This time I have taken the polynomial as x square minus 4. As you can see, the degree is still 2, and the polynomial px is x square minus 4. For zeros, put x square minus 4 is equal to 0. What do we get? We get x square is equal to 4. So x is going to be plus minus 2. Hence the number of zeros is 2. So what I wanted to bring into your knowledge was the maximum number of zeros or roots a polynomial of degree n can have is n. And the minimum number of zeros that it can have is 0. So we must have this much in mind while proceeding with the chapter. After that, we also studied about the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of the polynomial. If you remember, the two relations that we derived were sum of the zeros is equal to minus b upon a, where b is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x square. In the standard polynomial, ax square plus bx plus c, which is quadratic in nature. Then we get the product of zeros is equal to c upon a, where c was a constant term and a was a coefficient of x square. So we have recapitulated what we have done so far, and now we are going to move to further few questions of application of zeros of the polynomial. We are proceeding with exercise 3.3. Let's take a pause to note this down. Boys and girls, this is the question which is not in the text, so do note it down. The question reads, if 2 is the zero of the polynomial px, which is k into x here plus 3k minus 2 into x plus k, then find the value of k. So what does this mean? They are saying 2 is a 0 of this polynomial. It means if we substitute 2 for x, this polynomial should become 0 by the definition of the 0 of the polynomial. And once we do that, we are definitely going to get the value of k. So let's pen down the solution. The steps goes like this. We are given px is equal to k into x here plus 3k minus 2 into x plus k. Since 2 is 0 of px, this implies that if I pen down x is equal to 2 in this equation, then p2 should be 0, right? Let's see. So wherever you have x, you are going to put down 2. So k into 2 square plus 3 into 2 minus 2 into x. I beg your pardon. This should be 3k minus 2 into 2 plus k should be 0. So if we sort it out, we get 4k. Multiply 2 with each term of this bracket, we get 2 3s are 6k, plus into minus is minus, 2 2s are 4, plus k is equal to 0. So there are 3 like terms, 4k plus 6k and plus k. This makes 11k. So we have 11k minus 4 is equal to 0. That means 11k is equal to 4 and k is equal to 4 upon 11. So this is what was required. We were supposed to find out the value of k, and here it is as 4 upon 11. I hope you have got it. Now let's have another question. If x plus a is a factor of 2 into x square plus 2ax plus 5x plus 10, then find the value of a. Now the polynomial with us is 2 into x square plus 2ax plus 5x plus 10, and we are given x plus a is a factor of px. So our previous knowledge of factors and the zeros indicate that this will imply that x is equal to minus a is 0 of px, right? And if x is equal to minus a is the 0 of polynomial, then it would again imply thus p minus a should be equal to 0 by definition of the 0 of the polynomial. So this means we'll put up x is equal to minus a wherever there is x in px. So we have 2 into minus a whole square plus 2a into minus a plus 5a plus 10 is equal to 0. Let's work this out. So minus raised to an even power is always positive. A into a is a square. So we have 2 into a square over here. Plus into minus is minus. 2a into a is 2a square plus 5a plus 10 is equal to 0. As you can see, these are two like terms with opposite signs, so they cancel out. We are left with 5a plus 10 is equal to 0. That would imply 5a is equal to minus 10. That is a is equal to minus 2. So this is how we answer the questions of this type. Please take this down now. This is our third question of exercise 2.3 from NCERT. The question reads, obtain all zeros of 3 into x power 4 plus 6 into x power 3 minus 2 into x power 2 minus 10x minus 5 if two of its zeros are square root of 5 upon 3 and minus of square root of 5 upon 3. Now let's put this polynomial, which is a dividend, as px. We are just giving it the name. Now its degree is 4. It means it should have 4 zeros. We are given 2 of its zeros and we have to find out the other zeros. Obviously we have to find the other 2 zeros. Let's see how it works. Now what they have given, x is equal to root 5 upon 3 is 0 of px. So by definition of 0 polynomial, this implies x minus root 5 upon 3 is a factor of px, right? Similarly, x is equal to minus root 5 upon 3 is a 0 of px. This is again given to us. So this again implies, if we bring it to this side, x plus root 5 upon 3 is a factor of px. Now, if this is a factor of px and this 2 is a factor of px, then our system implies that the product of these two numbers should also be the factor of px. This is by convention. X minus root 5 upon 3 into x plus root 5 upon 3 is a factor of px. So if we multiply, what do we get? We get x square minus 5 upon 3 is a factor of px. Now next step is long division. We have two choices. We can do long division with keeping this as the divisor, but still if we want to get rid of this denominator part, we have another choice. We can take out the LCM. This becomes 3x square minus 5 is a factor of px, or 1 upon 3 into 3x square minus 5 is a factor of px, that is 3x square minus 5 is a factor of px. Now in this case you can ignore the constant 1 by 3. Now let's do the long division. We are going to divide px by 3x square minus 5. This is 3 into x power 4 plus 6 into x power 3 minus 2 into x power 2 minus 10x minus 5. And we are going to divide it by 3x square minus 5. So this is the first term of the dividend. 3 into x power 4 divided by 3 into x power 2 will give us x power 2. So now x power 2, yani x square is going to multiply with each of the terms and going to come under the like terms. X square into 3x power 2 means 3 into x power 4. After that, minus into plus is minus. The next term is minus into 5x square, so it will come under this one. In the next step, we are going to change the signs. This is the same long division that we have been doing in junior classes. We get on 6x cube over here. This is plus and this is minus. So if one is positive, the other is negative. We go for a subtraction and the sign of the bigger one comes with us. This becomes 3 into x cube minus 10x minus 5. So it's our first term of the next dividend part. So 6 into x power 3 divided by 3 into x power 2 will give us plus 2x. Am I right? So what do we get? 6 into x power 3 minus into plus is minus 10x. So here it is. In the next step, we are going to change the signs of the bottom line only. The first term cancels out. We are left with, even this one cancels out in this case. So we are left with 3 into x square minus 5. Now this is of degree 2 and this 2 is of degree 2. So it means still the long division needs to be carried on. 3x square divided by 3 into x square will give me plus 1. It means 1 is going to multiply by each of the term of the divisor to get us the next level. So we get 3 into x square minus 5. Obviously when the signs change, they cancel out. Remainder is 0. And it was required because we have already said that 3 into x square minus 5 is a factor of px. It means remainder was supposed to be 0. So what is our next step to get to the other zeros of this polynomials? Remember we were already given two zeros. To find out the next two zeros, we are going to factorize the quotient x square. Now factorize x square plus 2x plus 1 by splitting of middle term. So what do we get? X square plus, instead of 2 we are going to put the bracket as we have done in the previous exercise. हमें एक ऐसा नंबर चाहिए जिससे मल्टीप्लाई करें तो 1 into 1 1 आए, add या subtract करें तो 2 आए. तो obviously in this case 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2 and 1 into 1 naturally is 1 only. So we have 1 plus 1 here. Open up the bracket, we get x square plus 1x plus 1x plus 1. So taking it in pairs, In the first two we have x is common, we get x plus 1 in the bracket. Nothing is common, it means plus 1 is common. Remember, 1 is the identity element of multiplication and division. So, plus sign किधर और इधर, इस side और उस side, x plus 1 is common. This is our first factor. जो बचा वो दूसरी bracket में आ जाएगा. That was x plus 1 again. So, x square plus 2x plus 1 has been factorized into x plus 1 into x plus 1. Both the factors are same. But we are supposed to find out the zeros. So, what do we do for finding the zeros? So, for zeros, put x plus 1 into x plus 1 is equal to 0. We know that product of two numbers is 0 only when one of them is 0, right? So either x plus 1, this x plus 1 is 0, we get x is equal to minus 1, or this x plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 1. It means the other two zeros are the same, minus 1 and minus 1. So other zeros of px are minus 1 and minus 1, and if they ask for all the zeros, then you are supposed to mention the two zeros which are given as well. So please note this down, and a similar question there is in the example preceding the exercise, so do not forget to do that. We'll proceed to the next question, number 4 of the exercise after this. Now this is a very simple question based upon the division algorithm. The question reads, on dividing x cube minus 3 into x cube plus x plus 2 by a polynomial gx, the quotient and remainder are x minus 2 and minus 2x plus 4, and you have to find gx, and gx, as you know, is the divisor. So it means in this case, let px be the dividend, that is x cube minus 3 into x cube plus x plus 2. Gx we have to find out which is the divisor. Quotient is x minus 2 and the remainder is minus 2x plus 4. Mind you, the brackets are very important in this. अगर हम brackets डालना भूल जाएंगे तो very likely कि कोई ना कोई calculation mistake हो सकती है. And now the division algorithm, we know that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Mind you have to find gx. So our first step will be px minus the remainder is equal to gx into qx. So what do we get? Px was x cube minus 3 into x cube plus x plus 2. And what is the remainder? Remainder is minus 2x plus 4. Put it in the bracket, that's very important. This is gx into qx. Qx is x minus 2. So what do we get over here? This is x cube minus 3 into x cube plus x plus 2. Minus into minus is plus 2x. Minus into plus is minus. We get 4 over here. And as you can see, now this is gx into x minus 2. Let's look for any like terms if there are any. We get x cube minus 3 into x cube, degree power 1, degree 1 वाले power 1 वाले दो हैं. So these are two like terms. X plus 2x is 3x, plus 2 minus 4 is minus 2, and this whole is going to divide by x minus 2, and this will give you gx. I hope my students can divide after this. Go for long division, and the quotient that will come over here will be your answer. Proceed with this. So boys and girls, so right now I am taking up the related question from the optionals. This is question number 4 of exercise 2.4. And the question is, if two zeros of this polynomial are 2 plus root 3 and 2 minus root 3, find the other zeros. The degree of this polynomial is 4. It means we are supposed to find out two other zeros of this polynomial. So steps are going to be the same, just because these are a bit of different nature, we are taking it up. Now let px, any dividend is x power 4 minus 6 into x power 3 minus 26 into x power 2 plus 138x minus 35. So what are we given? We are given that 2 plus root 3 is 0 of px. So what does this imply? This implies, let me pen it down over here, x is equal to 2 plus root 3 is the 0 of px. So this implies x minus 2 minus root 3 is factor of px, that is x minus 2 minus root 3 is factor of px. This thing it is 1. Now what does the other 0 implies? They have given also x is equal to 2 minus root 3 is also 0 of px. So this implies x minus 2 plus root 3 is a factor of px. So can I say that x minus 2 plus root 3 is a factor of px? Just look at the step 1 and step 2. From step 1 and step 2, if this is a factor of px and this 2 is a factor of px, it means the product is going to be the factor of px as well, by convention. So thus we have x minus 2 minus root 3 into x minus 2 plus root 3 is factor of px. Now if you look at it minutely, you will observe that this reminds you of the identity a minus b into a plus b. So when we multiply, we get a square minus b square. So this is a factor of px. So moving ahead, if we open this is x square minus 4x plus 4 minus 3 is a factor of px. Let's simplify it further. We get x square minus 4x plus 1 is a factor of px. I hope remember the rest of the steps. Our next step is going to be, we are going to divide px by this divisor. Px is x raised to power 4 minus 6 into x power 3 minus 26 into x power 2 plus 138x minus 35, and this is to be divided by x square minus 4x plus 1. Let's go for the long division. This is the first term of the dividend. So x power 4 divided by x power 2 is going to give us x power 2. We are going to multiply each term of this divisor with x power 2. So this is x power 4 minus into plus is minus 4x cube plus 1x cube. Let's change the signs of the bottom line. We get minus 2 into x power 3 minus 27 into x power 2 plus 138x minus 35. So now minus 2 into x square divided by x square is minus, rather this is minus 2 into x power 3. So minus 2 into x power 3 divided by x square is minus 2x. So now minus 2x is going to multiply with each term of the divisor. We get minus 2 into x power 3 plus 8x minus 2x. Let's change the signs. What do we get? The first terms move out. We are left with minus 35 into x cube plus 140 into x minus 35. Now minus 35 into x power 2 divided by x square is going to give me minus 35. Now minus 35 is going to multiply with each term of the divisor to get the next step. So what do we get? Minus 35 into x cube. Minus into minus is plus, 35 into 4 is 140. So this is plus 140 into x minus 35. Hey, what do we see? All the terms are same. On changing the signs, we are going to get the remainder as 0. So here it goes. And it was supposed to be like that only because we said that x square minus 4x plus 1 is a factor of px, और अगर ये इसका फैक्टर है तो रिमाइंडर ऑब्वियसली 0 आना ही चाहिए था. तो हमारा अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप होगा to factorize the quotient to get the other two factors, and here it goes like this. Now factorize here minus 2x minus 35 by splitting of middle term. मिडिल टर्म 2 की जगह ब्रैकेट डाल दीजिए. अब आपको ऐसे दो नंबर सोचने जिन्हें मल्टीप्लाई करें तो माइनस 35 इंटू 1 माइनस 35 है. ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करें तो मिडिल टर्म माइनस 2 आनी चाहिए. सो 7 5 से 35 होता है and 7 minus 5 is 2. So in the bracket I'm just going to put down 7 minus 5. Right? Open up the bracket, x here minus 7x plus 5x minus 35. Pairs में डालने के बाद first में से x common, this is x minus 7 plus 5 is common here, x minus 7. We are on the right track, हमारी bracket same आ रही है, plus इधर और इस side we have x plus 5 is one of the factor और दूसरा factor है x minus 7. So these are the two factors, but we are concerned with the zeros, not the factors. So for zeros, put x plus 5 into x minus 7 is equal to 0. And I will repeat, product of two numbers is 0 if one of them is 0. So this implies either x plus 5 is 0, then x is equal to minus 5, or x minus 7 is 0, then x is equal to 7. So other zeros, we were supposed to find other zeros. So other zeros of px are minus 5 and 7. The degree was 4, two zeros were already given to us and we have now reached to the other two zeros which are minus 5 and 7. So please note it down. I hope you will be able to manage. This question was in one of the CBSE papers in the last few years only. Please take it up. So now this is the fifth question of your exercise 2.4, that is optional one, and the question reads, if the polynomial x power 4 minus 6 into x power 3 plus 16 into x power 2 minus 25x plus 10 is divided by x square minus 2x plus k, the remainder is x plus a. We have to find the value of k and a. So see, be very particular while doing the calculations for this one. Let us suppose px be the dividend, rx the remainder is given to us as x plus a, divisor gx is given to us as x square minus 2x plus k. So what do we have over here? Let's suppose the quotient to be qx. Now we know that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. If we bring the remainder to this side, we have gx into qx over that side. That means each of them is a factor of this expression. Now let's divide. To get the value of the quotient, let us divide this expression by x square minus 2x plus k. This is a bit complicated division and I want you to be very particular about it while doing it. The first term is x power 4. X power 4 divided by x square is x square. This x square is going to multiply with each term. We get x power 4 minus 2 into x power 3 plus k into x square. Signs are changed. What do we get? The first term goes out. We get minus 4 into x power 3 plus. Now this is very important what I do over here. Put the constants in bracket. 16 minus k into x square like this. Minus 26x plus 10 minus a. Your next step. Your next first part of the dividend now is minus 4x cube divided by x square is going to give you minus 4x. Now minus 4x is going to multiply with each term. We get minus 4x cube. Minus into minus is plus 8x here. So it comes over here. Plus 8x here. This is minus 4kx. Signs are altered. Be very particular while observing the next step. Our first term cancels out. What are we left with? Go for the rough form. If I take out x square common, I'm left with 16 minus k minus 8 inside the bracket when I work on this. So what do we get? 8 minus k into x square. This should be written over here. 8 minus k into x square. Now what about this? This is, if I take out x as common, this is minus 26 plus 4k. Mind you, keep just the plus sign outside. Whatever change has to be made, it should be inside the bracket. Minus 26 plus 4k into x plus 10 minus a, which is a constant. Now next term of the dividend is 8 minus k into x square divided by x square, we get plus of 8 minus k. And mind you, 8 minus k is going to multiply with each term of the divisor. Now 8 minus k into x square, we get the same thing. Now 8 minus k is going to multiply with minus 2x. 8 minus k is going to multiply with minus 2x. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, बाहर हम प्लस का साइन ही रखेंगे. Whatever the change has to be made will be inside the bracket. So if I do that, I get minus 16x plus 2kx. If I take out x common, it will be minus 16 plus 2k. So this is minus 16 plus 2k, and now 8 minus k is going to multiply with k. We get 8k minus k square plus 8k minus k square. Mind you, this is, the whole of this is a constant. This is minus 16 plus 2k into x. Now let's change the signs. The first one is over and gone. Now minus 26 plus 16 is minus 10 plus 4k minus 2k is plus 2k into x. Now let's work on the constants. This is plus 10 minus 8 minus 8k plus k square. As we have worked it over here, we took the remainder on the other side. Since remainder was taken on that side, means each of them, gx and qx, are the factors of this. So in this case, the remainder should be 0. Since remainder should be 0, therefore minus 10 plus 2k into x plus 10 minus 8 minus 8k plus k square has to be 0. इन दोनों का सम 0 तभी हो सकता है when each of these brackets are equated to 0. This is like equating the coefficients. So minus 10 plus 2k is equal to 0. So 2k is equal to 10. It means k is equal to 5. This is what we were required to find out. Also 10 minus a minus 8k plus k square is equal to 0. Let's pen down the value of k. Put k is equal to 5. What do we get? 10 minus 8 minus 40 plus 25 is equal to 0. 10 plus 25 is 35. 35 minus 40 is minus 5. So we have minus 8 minus 5 is equal to 0. We get a is equal to 5. So this is what we were required to find out. The value of k is 5 and the value of a is also 5. A is minus 5 rather. Let's pen down minus sign over here as well. A is minus 5 and k is 5. Now look, we could have done it without taking the remainder on that side. In that case, we would have equated the coefficients. So mind you, that is another technique of doing this. Let's continue with the next. Just note this one down. So boys and girls, right now we are going to carry on with the questions of cubic polynomials. Let's proceed with the zeros of the standard cubic polynomial. The standard cubic polynomial is a into x cube plus b into x square plus cx plus d. Let us suppose the zeros of this polynomial be alpha, beta and gamma. Since it is cubic in nature, its degree is 3, so obviously इसके 3 roots होंगे, 3 zeros होंगे. Let the zeros be, let zeros be alpha, beta and gamma. Now we are going to straight away take up the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of cubic polynomial. The way we derived it for the quadratic polynomial, in a similar way, the relationship between the zeros of this cubic polynomial are derived. But straight away, right now I am giving you the relationship. I hope my students will be able to derive it the way we derived it for the quadratic polynomials. Now, first relationship is sum of zeros. Sum of zeros, let us denote it by S, is equal to alpha plus beta plus gamma. And its relationship with the zeros of the polynomials is minus b upon a. Minus b upon a means minus coefficient of x square upon coefficient of x cube. The second relationship is sum of product of zeros taken two at a time. What does this mean? Let us denote it by S dash, and this means alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha, and this relationship is very good for the derivation. It is C upon A. The derivation is not part of your syllabus, by the way, but if you want to derive it, it is in the similar way as we derived it for the quadratic polynomials. The third relationship is with the product of zeros. Product of zeros, let us denote it by P, and this is alpha into beta into gamma, and this is equal to minus d upon a. So as you can see, compare it with the standard polynomial, d is the constant term and a is the coefficient of x cube. In the previous one also, c, let's write down, c is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x cube rather. So take down this relationship between the zeros of a cubic polynomial and the coefficients of the standard cubic polynomial. Based upon these, we'll take up quiz number 1 and 2 of the optional exercise. Please take it. Now we are on quiz number 1 of exercise 2.4, and the question reads that verify that the given numbers given alongside the cubic polynomial are the zeros of this cubic polynomial, and then we have supposed to verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients in each case. So verification, I hope my students remember. Let us first give the names to these zeros. Let alpha be half, beta be 1 and gamma be minus 2. We have to verify that they are the zeros of the polynomials. So in case 1, put x is equal to half. So what does p? So wherever there is x, we'll put up half instead of px and get the value of p half. If it turns out to be 0, it means half is the 0 of px. So 2 into half whole cube plus half square minus 5 into half plus 2. So this is 2 into 1 upon 8 plus 1 by 4 minus 5 by 2 plus 2. We have 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 2 minus 5 by 2. If you work on this, you are going to get p half is equal to 0. Yani p 1 by 2 is 0. That means 1 upon 2 is a 0 of the polynomial px. Likewise, case 2, you will pick up, put x is equal to 1 and make it sure that p1 should turn out to be 0. And if p1 turns out to be 0, it means 1 is again the 0 of the polynomial. Case 3, put x is equal to minus 2. And if p minus 2 turns out to be 0, it means minus 2 is the 0 of the polynomial again. This was the first part of the question where we were supposed to verify that these numbers are the zeros of the given cubic polynomial. And the second part, we have to verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. Now let's move for the sum of the zeros. Sum of zeros. this is alpha plus beta plus gamma. What does it turn out to be? 1 by 2 plus 1 minus 2. So this is 3 by 2 minus 2, right? If you take out the LCM, this is 3 minus 4. This is minus 1 by 2. Product of zeros. Rather we should go for sum of product of zeros taken 2 at a time. That is S dash is equal to alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha. Let's see what does this turn out to be. So S dash is equal to alpha into beta, half into 1 plus 1 into minus 2 plus minus 2 into 1 by 2. What do we get? We get half minus 2 minus 1. So this is minus 3 plus half. So this is, as you can see, 2 is the LCM. This is minus 5 by 2. And next we are taking up product of zeros. That is P is equal to alpha into beta into gamma. Let's multiply them. This is 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by minus 2. The answer is minus 1. So this is what we have got is sum of zeros, sum of product of zeros taken 2 at a time and the product of zeros. And the next, let's go for the coefficients. What is the value of minus b upon a? Minus b upon a means minus 1 upon 2. Let's go for c upon a. C upon a means constant upon the coefficient of x cube. That is 2 upon 2. We get it as c upon a. This is c is the coefficient of x minus 5 upon 2. Then we are supposed to take out minus d upon a. Minus d upon a means constant term, minus of constant term upon the coefficient of x cube, that is 2. This turns out to be minus 1. Now compare 1, 2, 3 results with result number 4, 5 and 6. What do we get? So our first result is from 1 and 4. The sum of the zeros is equal to minus b upon a. The product of zeros taken 2 at a time is, sum of the product of zeros taken 2 at a time is equal to c upon a. Both of them are minus 5 by 2 and minus 5 by 2. And last of all, product of zeros is minus d upon a. So this is how we have verified the results that we had written before this step. Please take this down. Now, we are on the second question of the optionals. The question says, find a cubic polynomial with the sum of the product of the zeros taken 2 at a time and the product of zeros is 2, minus 7 and minus 14 respectively. So what are we having? We are having the sum of the zeros, minus b upon a as 2. We are given the sum of product of zeros taken 2 at a time. When a dash is equal to minus 7 means we are given c upon a over here. And product of the zeros p is given to be minus 14, yani minus d upon a. The standard cubic polynomial is given by the formula k into x cube minus sx square plus s dash x minus p. And the notations s dash have already been down as they are meant for. So we are having it as k into x cube minus 2 into x cube plus into minus 7 of x minus p. Since denominator is 1 in each case, LCM of all the terms is 1. So put k is equal to 1. required polynomial becomes, required cubic polynomial becomes x cube minus 2 into x cube minus 7x plus 14. Boys and girls, now we are on the third question of exercise 2.4 and the question reads, if the zeros of the polynomial x cube minus 3 to x cube plus x plus 1 are a minus b, a and a plus b, we have to find the value of a and b. Now look, we know the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of the cubic polynomials, and such questions are usually answered by the relation of the sum of the zeros and the product of zeros. Now we know that sum of the zeros of the polynomial is equal to minus b upon a. Since already a and b are being used, I am taking standard cubic polynomial as a into x cube plus b into x cube plus cx plus d. I am using capital A, capital B, capital C and capital D over here so that I can differentiate between a and b, that is being given in the question as zeros, and the coefficients of the cubic polynomial. So we know that the sum of the zeros of the cubic polynomial is equal to minus b upon a. It means a minus b plus a plus b is equal to minus of b. b over here is minus 3, right? Let's pen down the values. If you want, a is 1, b is minus 3, c is 1 and d is again 1. So here we have this minus comes as it is. Capital B is minus 3 upon a. a is 1. So if we work on this, plus b and minus b cancels. 3a is equal to plus 3. Minus into minus is plus. So a is equal to 1. Here we get the value of a. Now we are supposed to get the value of b, and we are still left with two relations. One is sum of the product of zeros taken two at a time, and the other one is the product of the zeros, and we can simply do with the product of zeros in this case. Now we know that, we also know product of zeros is equal to minus d upon a, right? Now alpha is a minus b, beta is a, gamma is a plus b, and this minus as it is. Capital D is 1 and capital A is 1 as well. Now put a is equal to 1. What do we get? 1 minus b into 1 plus b is equal to minus 1. Multiply. This is reminding us of the identity a minus b into a plus b. So this is going to be a square minus b square. 1 minus b square is equal to minus 1. Now this implies 1 plus 1 is equal to b square. So b square is equal to 2. Hence b is equal to plus minus square root of 2. So we get the values of a and b. A is 1 and b is plus minus square root of 2. With this, we have ended up with the chapter of polynomials from the NCERT text, plus we have taken very many extra questions as well, and that will suffice your revision for the finals as well. You must take out some questions from the extra books which we have taken in this. The similar type of questions can be taken so that we are well prepared for the exam. Thank you so much.